Ladies and gentlemen, old and new fans, oh yeah, it's been a year since the last tutorial, Pacific Rim. But now I'm happy to welcome you in this first part of the Hollywood movie title series, V7. I'm Antonio Cerri from CRRNTN.com. And today, we will take a look at the title animation style, Avengers, Age of Ultron. Many of you think in this moment, okay, Cinema 4D or Element. No, you can't imagine how it was done. And that's why I'm very excited. I discovered that the new versions of ZaxWorks Invigorator Pro inside After Effects is a fabulous 3D tools package. It offers the possibility to get incredible results, and it's very interesting. In addition, we will also see the use of Hawaii Keyer of FX Factory to make a fast keying with a professional result. And finally, during the animated sequence of random strokes, revelation of the logo, and much more. I'm very pleased to present you the Lights Flares by HitFilm. Simple at first view, but very realistic when it comes to simulation of lens flares. So take a look at your screen and follow me. At the end of this tutorial, you can learn to draw, model, and animate your own title with Invigorator Pro, Keyer, and Lights Flares inside After Effects. The actual example Avengers Age of Ultron is just for training purposes, and it's not to be used in a personal project without permission from the original creators. Okay, let's start with the project. The first step of the project is to prepare all spline that make up the logo. In this case, I used a special font which is absolutely prohibited for commercial deployment. We'll talk later about the details of the font of the Avengers logo. However, in your version, you can use a similar font or design your own version of your logo from scratch with the Avengers style. Whatever your choice, it's important to prepare 3 sets of separate layers. The red logo will be used to create the beveled part inside, the sand-colored logo, which will be used to create the chrome complex border. Note that both layers, red and sand, are identical. And finally, the layer group subtitle, with a sand color similar to the chrome border logo. I repeat, to have a correct and fast editing of 3D modeling of the logo inside Invigorator Pro, in addition to be divided into 3 separate layers, they must use 3 different colors. The reason's very simple. I'll show you later how to keep the same colors of Illustrator with a simple click import setting of Invigorator. This will make the work of the identification and selection of the parts simple and fast. As promised before, this is the original font of the Avengers logo. Unfortunately, this is not in the sale and was created by Method Studios for the entire marketing campaign of the movie. Of course, it includes all versions for foreign languages, including accents and Cyrillic letters. There are versions of similar fonts, commercial and free, but you can always create your own version that's more interesting, like this. Not this headache. I'm kidding. Very funny, okay? I will show you what it looks like in the final project of After Effects. As you can see, we have only 12 pre-comp layers that make up the main timeline. But in reality, the procedural structure of the project is very complex. So follow me on the screen and we'll show you all the important steps that have been used to create this fantastic final result. Okay, let's start with the first parameters of the composition. Size 1920 by 800 pixels, speed to 23.976 frames per second. The duration of our sequence is approximately 80 frames. Background color black. Okay, now we put our solid object, Command Y or Control Y. I choose the name IV3D, and on it we apply Invigorator Pro. This first panel that opens allows us to choose how we want to start with our project. We can create a 3D text directly from a pre-existing font. Import an OBJ file. In this case, we import the Illustrator file created earlier. If we leave only the basic checks active, the file will be organized with all the parties that make up the logo separate in cascade. I'll show you inside after we have pressed the Setup button of Invigorator. Okay, as I said earlier, if you want to have the project in Invigorator well organized and with colors already separated when you import the file, remember to have active the checks Open by Layer. In addition to Voice, use Illustrator Color. In fact, if we go now on the Setup panel, we can see the three groups: Logo Red, Chrome Border, and Subtitles are like the Illustrator file. Very, very cool and very comfortable. Obviously, if we change the visualization of the logo here in this preview window and click OK, the same position is also updated in the main composition of After Effects. Okay, let's get back inside Invigorator. As we can see, the three layers are separated, but at this moment are all inside the set Object Set 1. If we want a separate organization for each part of the logo, we must drag the subtitle in the layer Object Set 3. Finally, the Chrome border in Object Set 2. This distribution and Object Set layer separated, not just to have a clean visual impact and organized, but because the problem is that if all are in the same group layer, for example, Object Set 1, it will not be possible to activate and deactivate the display of three parts in the Invigorator plugin main panel in After Effects. In any case, the application of different bevel styles will be advantaged by and will be displayed individually. Okay, as you can see below, you will find this line of buttons. These buttons let you change the work panels inside of Invigorator. We activate only the Logo Red layer, and we enter in the work panel's modeling mode. A new and unique feature that makes Invigorator above the average of the 3D plugins for After Effects is that you can change the spline of the letters as vector graphic software. The big advantage is to have your changes in real-time 3D. It's very nice. When I mean vector graphic software, I mean that you can have a very advanced set of tools, also chamfered angles. Look at this incredible tool, absolutely awesome. This editor spline works very well also with the text tool. What? You can modify the shape of the letters without the need for conversion of the font? Incredible! Love at first click. This small preview at the bottom is the profile of the bevel style. This linear style is applied as default. But how is it applied to our logo? I will show you in detail. These are the parameters that control the extrusion and the bevel impact. I can increase the depth and decrease the value of the bevel scale. Now you can see better the profile in the drop-down menu, Outer Bevels. You will find many incredible styles of bevels for your projects. Okay, I want to show you this particular style. Single Open 3. Invigorator Pro with a few and simple settings. It distributes around the spline of the letters bevel styles with any form, even if it has open curved lines. Creating incredible styles of 3D bevels, very complex to achieve with classical 3D modeling and Maya, Cinema 4D, etc. Okay, we come back to our Avengers logo, and we apply directly the preset styles for all three parts that I created specifically for this project. to have installed in your Invigorator library these presets, bevels, and lights system. You have to put these files in the folders, Documents, Zaxworks. Of course, inside Invigorator Pro, this is the latest version 8. Okay, drag the 3 files ZXS of bevels inside the folder, Object Style Swatches. While the 3 files with the extension ZXR inside Lighting Rig Swatches restart After Effects, and now these new styles will be present in the library. You can find them in the bottom of the list. The preset for the red logo is called Red Inside. Just double-click and that's it. You have to consider that beyond style bevel, the depth of extrusion is also incorporated the material glass red, specially created for it. Full details of the materials and lighting systems we can see later. For more details of the bevel of the presets, open the panel Materials mode. What you see below is the profile of the bevel. It's very rounded and deep. While here we see the red glass material that has been applied. In this specific case, to separate the inner part red with chrome border, we have reduced the thickness with the parameter choke that is -7. In general, its default value is 0. This will allow the chrome border to wrap completely the red inner part of the logo. For the part of the chrome border, we apply the style preset Chrome Border. Fantastic! But as we can see, there's a problem in the profile of the letter G. Okay, don't worry, we go to the panel mode Modeling, and with the Selection tool, we activate this point. And with the right arrow key of the keyboard, move the point with just a few clicks. At the same time, in the preview, we can see that the problem of the overlap is solved. We repeat the same procedure in the layer of the red logo. In this way, the two parts of the logo match perfectly. What you see at the bottom is the complex profile of the chrome border. Obviously, to match this inner curve with the logo red interior, the value of choke is about 1. All other parameters that you see, you will find ready-made with the preset. The end result is really good. Needless to say, but in reality, the true realization step-by-step to match both sides, inside and border, requires a bit of work, not minutes, not days. I hope you understand what I mean. Okay, we complete our logo Avengers Age of Ultron with the inclusion of our latest preset on layer Subtitle. This is a classic rounded chamfer. Okay, very nice. We move the point of view with a classical frontal impact. I must say that the result is not bad at all, but we still have to put the correct lighting systems and other important settings to make the final impact more photorealistic. But before that, we open a small parenthesis on the materials that were used. Invigorator Pro already offers a basic library that's very complete. In fact, for the red logo, I applied this red material that was pre-existing. I changed the settings to make it more transparent like glass, with a high level of reflectivity. For the chrome border, I applied the material Punchy Silver. In this case, I changed only the base color. For the subtitle, we applied 3 materials to achieve a result very similar to the original video. The previous Punchy Silver for the depth of the extrusion, the second and was set to be positioned in the front part. Finally, a simple material, nuanced pastel sand, has been included only in the bevel, to have a highlight that's more evident with the simulation of a light positioned at the top. It's important to point out that even on Invigorator, the material projection works like a professional 3D software. I'll show you better. On the red logo, the material has been applied UV proportional. For the chrome border, I preferred the classic cubic. Instead, for the subtitle, we have the depth of extrusion in UV normalized. Same for the front part. Finally, for the bevel, I opted the left planar X-. Now we complete the logo with the inclusion of lighting systems. Open the panel in lighting mode, and we're going to look for it in the library Lighting Rigs, the presets that we placed in the Zaxworks folder. Here they are. The previews are all very clear and they leave no doubt. You are probably wondering why we have 3 different systems. The reply is simple. It's very difficult to obtain a result similar to the original video with a single and unique lighting system. However, this happens very frequently, also in expensive 3D software. But in those cases, we have the possibility with advanced tools to include or exclude elements from light in the scene. Unfortunately, all this in the 3D plugins for After Effects is still considered a taboo. I'm sure we will see it in future versions. To apply a system of lights, you must first click on the layer Light Set 1 and then double-click on the preset. Give confirmation on the Replace, and here is the lighting system work. This set of lights point was derived from an already 3-light pre-existing model of the library, but with minor changes and made perfect to emphasize the inner red logo. The second set of lights are parallel type, and with these contrasts of lights and shade, it's perfect for our outer chrome border. Finally, for the subtitle, we studied a distribution of the spotlights in order to have a kind of ambient lighting. Incredible but true. But soon I will show you the end result of each of it separately and then later reassembled, and you will understand the true meaning of this choice to split the 3 parts of the logo. But before proceeding with the operation of splitting, we insert the camera into our composition. Activate the check on Invigorator, use Comp Camera. Now we can set keyframes in the animation sequence. In this case, the interpolation is very simple. It's composed of only 2 parts of keyframes. Okay, in frame 0, activate keyframes for the point of interest and position. Modify this value from 400 to 397, and the Z position is -2808. Okay, now let's change the value in frame 80 from 397 to 396. While on position X, insert 1022. This simulates a slight horizontal rotation. Finally, we put on position Z -2632. We make the entire interpolation totally linear. In this way, the movement has not accelerated or decelerated. The first logo that is split by the group is the red logo. We apply the system, point red lights, and we set the parameters for a photorealistic impact. We go to the lighting globals parameters, activate the check ambient occlusion on. To see this in real time, we set the result to the icon quality and sampling properly. We set the anti-aliasing best. We can already see something, but it's very important to find the right combination of the three parameters of ambient, in this case after several tests. For me, the best setting is 500, distance, darkness 100, and softness 50. But to see the final result, we need to change the type of renderer from OpenGL to Ray Tracer. This is incredible. Simply fantastic. To exclude the subtitle of this impact, just go to Objects, Object Set 3, and disable this check. That was simple. As I said before, this will be the base layer of our Avengers logo. To split the other two parts of the logo, rename this comp. Duplicate twice the composition and rename. We activate the correct lighting system, and for each we disable what we do not need. Okay, here is how they present themselves with the best quality and ambient occlusion on the chrome border. I love it. It's very, very Daredevil. Ha ha ha. And finally, here's the result of the subtitle. Much like the original video, now the three parts of the logo can be grouped into a single new composition. The only problem is that the chrome border must be masked from the inside of the logo. How do we do this? Nothing could be simpler. We enter into Invigorator, go to Materials, and select the layer of the red logo. As you already know, it applied the material glass. Just double-click, and in this pane, we change the type of material from standard to matte color. This way, we don't exclude the internal part of the logo, but we can mask it directly. It's very useful and very cool. Okay, I would say that we have a logo. To improve the result of the overlap, we apply a simple choker effect to the base layer with a value of 1. As you can see with the splitting technique of the logo, we got inside After Effects, with the result to be envied by many a 3D software. Of course, the work is not finished yet, missing many interesting details, but we'll discuss it in detail in the second part of the tutorial. Okay? I will remind you, don't miss the second part of the tutorial, Avengers Age of Ultron. Stay tuned. Special thanks to Zach's Works for the incredible 3D tools. I hope this tutorial has been to your liking. By Antonio Cerri from CRRNTN.com. Cheers!